Welcome back to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, folks. It's me, Sarah, a.k.a. I actually forgot that nicknames were a thing we do on this podcast. I'm going to need a quick second.
Just a fact. Can you tell it's been a while?
I'm Sarah, a.k.a. Feeling Twoey 2.
I'm Patrick, a.k.a. Hitter Marks. I bet you never marks, huh?
I'm Sam, aka Chuck Schumer Polinick.
It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been it's been
Yes,
3
ma'am.
weeks since we recorded our last one.
Well,
been a
2
while.
weeks since 2 weeks since we recorded, but 3 weeks since we posted.
Right.
Whoops.
Are we addressing that?
Yeah, we should mention it.
I was thinking we'd address it at the end, but why not address it at the top?
It probably is best to get out of the way at the top because we just made jokes about it, especially.
Yeah.
Who wants to take this one?
We found out that host of the show, Zach, had a past of sexual misconduct. He has been removed from the podcast, and it sucks, and that's that.
Yep. It's about the long and short of it. Thanks, Sam.
All right, let's do the yay! Woo!
Ding dongs. Donald Trump has small hands.
What if his hands were small?
So I kind of want to start this off with my favorite story that's coming out of today. And it's not a major one, but it is a bit of a slow ball to get us into it. Elon Musk is continuing Meltdown May all the way into December, and he's going to be closing out the year still melting down from May.
Mm-hmm.
And the current meltdown is that he is engaged in a legal battle over the man who sued him for after Elon called him a pedophile. And Elon's defense is basically, I had a bad case of internet mad, so it wasn't real.
Oh, so it's fine then.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm gonna read the paragraph. I have a paragraph straight from the legal brief right now.
Okay.
Okay. These facts did not deter Unsworth from berating Musk and the selfless work of the engineering team he had assembled. This is from Musk's legal team, to be clear. Shocked by Unsworth's indefensible and baseless attacks, Musk answered to defend himself and the efforts of SpaceX, Tesla, and the Boring Company employees who had given up their days and nights to help find a solution. Musk took to Twitter, a social networking website infamous for invective and hyperbole, to respond. Musk, unaware even of Unsworth's name, tweeted that he had never met the, quote, dude, quote, from CNN, but was nonetheless determined to prove him wrong. He vowed to demonstrate that his submarine could navigate the caves, quote, no problemo, quote. And just like Unsworth did, Musk tacked on a gratuitous barb. Referencing Thailand's documented reputation, Musk said that Unsworth was, quote, sus, quote, for being a, quote, British expat guy who lives in Thailand, quote. Later referring back to these suspicions, Musk dubbed Unsworth, quote, pedo guy.
Cool.
Yeah, today I learned you can say anything that you want as long as it's on Twitter, because Twitter is notorious for people not meaning what they say. So I'm gonna tweet at Elon Musk every day telling him that I'm going to circumcise him, and I'm allowed to do that. It's just free speech.
Quick question, by the way, guys. According to this legal document, Thailand has a documented reputation. Is there a documented reputation of Thailand?
I mean, it is stereotypically a destination for, like, sex tourism.
Yeah.
Which,
How
like,
true that is, I don't know, but
right.
boy, that's a thing to have in a legal document from his lawyers.
Yeah. Also, I just want to mention really quick, the thing I love about that article you just read is that it has to clarify what Twitter is. Can you imagine your life being that good that you don't know what Twitter is?
Now, this isn't an article, by the way. This is like his legal team's...
Okay.
This is Elon Musk's team's legal brief, which is why it's so biased towards Elon Musk.
There was another thing in there that referred to his comments as, like, fantastical opinions or something. Like, nobody would possibly think that was verifiable, so therefore it doesn't matter.
I found it. Here, the reasonable reader would not have believed that Musk, without having ever met Unsworth in the middle of a schoolyard spat on social media and from 8,000 miles afar, was conveying that he was in possession of private knowledge that Unsworth was sexually attracted to children or engaged in sex acts with children.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's fine as long as you have a disclaimer on your Twitter sidebar that says, like, don't listen to anything I say.
Retweets, likes, and tweets are not my own.
Are not
Tweets
even
not
my
representative
opinions.
of views.
Musk's this is more of it. Musk's statements were written, quote, were written with a great deal of linguistic informality. Musk used, this is a bullet point. Musk used curse words. Paragraph 88, calling the BuzzFeed reporter a, quote, fucking asshole. Quote, I fucking hope he sues me. This is a hell of a document.
Sometimes I forget that he said that he, like, hopes the guy sues him, and it's just like, it's quote from Man Stabbed all over again.
It really is. And yes, I am going to stab him. And I'm allowed to say that because it's just like a... This is a podcast where we just say bullshit, you know? Like, I can say anything I want.
It's a comedy podcast.
You just have some residual internet mad from being on Twitter, which is a website for... Hold on, let me pull up the quote again. A website, a social networking website infamous for invective and hyperbole.
Yeah.
Does anyone
I don't know what they're talking about. I've never once used either of those things in my tweets.
Does anyone on this podcast ever have a Brian Regan brainworm and almost like your brain takes over and pronounces hyperbole like hyperbole?
Yeah, I do that pretty often.
Not recently. I do exclusively think of hyperbole and a half though when I see that word.
I call it movie bull.
Thank you.
Yep, there's a joke.
Movie bully?
Movie bully.
Movie bully? Do you mean the CinemaSins guy? That's a movie bully. Am I right? Ding.
That's good.
That was comedy.
Can we, as long as we're talking about people melting down on Twitter, can we talk about J.K. Rowling?
Oh, what's she done recently?
Oh, she did like a fan fiction recently, right? Like about how she was
had
oppressed
a very
for saying that
weird thread about Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, was it
good.
Was it anti-Semitic or was I just like seeing snippets
It was,
that were like?
No. She was claiming that he was. I'm trying to find the thread right now.
He was anti-Semitic.
Is this
okay.
Yeah, here we go. The way that she wrote it was so weird, though. She and lo, unto her did appear a host of Corbyn defenders, who did descend upon her mentions, and she was not sore afraid, because she was used to it. And the host did sing with one voice, Ungodly woman, thou foolest us not. We know the true reason thou despisest Saint Jeremy. It just goes on like that for 16 tweets.
Wow. I mean,
and
like...
tweet 10, this is the good one. And he was hastily hushed by his brethren, who did declare, he is not one of ours, though he sports a #JC4PM Halo. And another did speak, and he said, it is not anti-Semitic to criticize Israel. And she did put her face in her hands and want to weep.
So, hold on. Is what she's saying there that it is inherently anti-Semitic to criticize Israel?
Yes.
Cool. Good take, Joe.
Speak not of the Jews, cried the host. Why must thou speak so oft of the Jews? Yea, I must speak, said she, for when Jews no longer feel safe in labor, then I too must leave. And one of the hosts did shout something about the Rothschilds.
Hey, JK.
She's not a bad writer. I don't know what all of this is.
Remember that bank scene you wrote in multiple books? Do you remember it?
Oh, you mean with the one with the hook-nosed, big-nosed goblins?
Yeah, with the very normal-looking, not at all character goblins.
As a Jewish person, it never has bothered me. It just, the thing that bothers me is that she hasn't ever been like, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, huh? Whoops! Like,
Yeah,
if she said that, I'd be like, okay.
I don't think it was, like, intentional, but she did do it and, like, has refused to even acknowledge how it looks.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, is that she has not even, like, commented on the fact that she did that.
Right.
Not that we know that she designed the goblins. I don't fucking know.
Were they not described as such in her book? In the books?
They were, yeah.
Cool.
You know who was described as something in the books is fucking Madame Hooch, who's described as, like, having a cat-like face with cat-like yellow eyes with a cat-like slit-shaped pupil. What the fuck was that? J.K. Rowling, explain yourself. She's a person that never comes up again. Anyway.
J.K. Rowling definitely should have, like, had the common sense to make her goblins not like that, but, I mean...
Right, you want to go
that's kind of how goblins
something...
have been... that's kind of how goblins have been since like day one. The choice to make them bankers is a little bit bad.
Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that I don't want to get too like I don't want to defend the presentation of the goblins in any way, but I do think that it makes sense in a sort of goblins have always been characterized. Never mind, nobody gives a shit about this. Anyway, what if the goblins were replaced with? Because I think the idea is that you want sort of like the species that's guarding the bank needs to be sort of crafty and full of like little tricks that would trip people up and traps and stuff that would keep them from getting into the vaults. I think you just need to replace it with another sort of mythological trickster, the Tanuki. And instead of having like the big hook nose, you can just have like the huge ball sacks.
Just slamming them balls down on the bank counter.
Just those gargantuan, those huge nuts.
Right, remember in the movie when he, like, sort of strokes his long finger through the door? What if it was like that, but he's just rubbing his balls on it? Now, that would be comedy.
That's a comedy.
I think that's what J.K.
right
Rowling
there.
was going for with that movie.
It was an homage.
Yeah,
Homage to balls.
You remember Balchinians from Men in Black?
I do.
I've never seen Men in Black.
So goblins were until Men in Black cribbed J.K. Rowling's style. The goblins were originally supposed to be Ball-nosians, and like the nose is supposed to be their dick.
Ball-nosians.
But then Men in Black happened, and J.K. Rowling was like, "Well, I'd look like a fucking hack if these books came out now, so I gotta fucking change shit."
I think that what you're saying is true.
I'm glad we can agree.
What else happened this year?
I mean, there's the big one, and that's that government machine broke.
Yeah.
Well, that's always happening.
Crime is legal, which is why we're allowed to podcast again.
We announcing the beginning of the 24-hour purge. All podcasts are now legal.
Yeah, so like what happened there was it was congressional budget time again, and I don't remember which side slipped it in there, but there was like $1.3 billion to build Trump's big boy wall.
I think it was 1.7. Not to be pedantic over the small matter of $400 million, but it was, I think, 1.7 bill.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So,
let me just put this out there and we can put a pin in it, because something has come up since the last time we did an episode, I just remember, which is the fucking GoFundMe. So we gotta fucking talk about that.
Yeah, we'll
shit.
circle back. Yeah, so there was $1.7 billion in the budget for construction of the wall.
That was the Democrats were willing to give him that,
that
and
was
he
like
said
their
it wasn't
concession.
enough.
Yeah, so that passed both houses, and then when it got to Trump's desk, he vetoed it because $1.7 wasn't enough money. He wanted $5, and he refuses to compromise on that point.
Now, I do want to. I do have to point out. I hate to do this. You did say $1.7,
whatever.
which I would be willing. If they really want to build the wall, I will give them $1.7 for them to build the wall with it. But that's all they're getting. That's the whole.
Well, Sam, if you have about, let me just do quick math here, about 9 million friends. That's what. Did that just happen over this weekend? I don't know where I'm going here. The joke.
I do have 9 million friends, but
you don't get to 9 million friends.
I'm willing to go on record here.
Hold on. You don't make 9 million friends without building a few walls. Thank you.
Nice. I'm willing to go on record here. I will pay for the entire Trump border wall if it costs $1.70.
What? Just the clinical nature of $1.7.
$1.7. Trump was like, that's not enough, and then he pushed the shutdown button, and everything shut down. He pushed the big red button. Is this like the fifth time that they've done that this year?
This is I think the third one this year.
Cool
and
government.
the ninth ever. So the current administration is responsible for an entire third of all the times the government has shut down.
There have been 9 shutdowns ever
in history.
There was one under the Obama administration in like 2013, 2014.
Yes.
And then before that, I don't remember having one happen in my lifetime, though I
don't remember when the last one was.
I haven't been paying attention to politics for most of my life. And I just feel like government shutdowns have happened so many times since I have been paying attention to politics. I just assumed that it was a thing that happens all the time. 9 of them, you say?
9.
9 whole shutdowns.
Yes.
Wow. Can we talk about the GoFundMe now?
Yes, let's talk about it. Please, regale us with the tale.
So, if you somehow haven't heard, this is a weird thing doing an episode for the first time in like 3 weeks because like probably everyone has heard everything that we're about to talk about. But, yeah, there's some fucking super cool veteran dude is like, I lost 3 limbs, so you know that I love America, and I believe
We
that the wall
the people
is...
will fund the wall. My
We
name
the
is
people.
Brian Colfage. I have a verified blue check Facebook page as a public figure.
Ooh la la.
And I'm a Purple Heart recipient, triple amputee veteran.
Not to pick on just like one particular chud, because like this is a fucking nobody. But did anyone see that tweet that was like, halfway to our goal, 4.9 million of our $1 billion goal?
Yeah. Good math.
10 million is a billion. Yeah, it's at 17.6 million now, which is, I mean, the thing about this wall is that they've said it's going to cost like $20 billion. So even if we the people fund the wall, 1 billion is not really much. Like, that's not really going to help that much.
This guy is absolutely taking the money and running after this, right?
I mean, probably. It's currently at least illegal for him to give that money to Congress. Like, you
right,
can't
and that's why
do
they're like frantically
he's gotta
writing
work- he's gotta work
legislation to
around.
be able to take it.
The government has accepted large private donations before. Most recently, a billionaire donated $7.5 million to fund half of the Washington Monument repairs in 2012.
The thing that scares
Also,
me...
hold on. The first sorry, one more thing. The first paragraph of his pitch is, like a majority of those American citizens who voted to elect President Donald Trump. Sorry?
Oh.
That's a little bit of revisionism there. Not like that's like the only thing wrong with this page, but I think that's a funny revisionism that like the conservatives have managed to trick themselves into thinking that they won the majority.
Oh, so he's saying like a majority of the American citizens who voted to elect him. Most people who voted for him for this reason is what he's saying.
Okay.
But he probably does also think that most Americans voted for Trump. But I think the thing that's really frightening about this, not that, like, I mean, obviously there's the element of, like, holy shit, people are so racist that you're seeing, like, $10,000 donations on this GoFundMe. But the idea of, like, setting a precedent where people can do GoFundMes for politicians and political projects, like, that just seems like an open door to, like, funnel dark money into politics.
Yeah, that's a really dark precedent.
Yeah, I mean, not that doesn't already happen, but I'd rather not open more avenues for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
So
So
what
yeah,
else?
any Patreon money that doesn't go to like buying new equipment for us will go to the wall.
We mentioned that this is a GoFundMe, right? Where the money does not get refunded upon...
Oh yeah, this is not a Kickstart. This is not them kickstarting the wall. This is a GoFundMe where
means
that
they keep-
$17.6 million that's in there.
Yep. He just has that money now forever.
Yep.
I did see something that said, like, this guy is probably, like, gonna get absolutely fucking destroyed by the IRS, because, like, that money's just in his bank account, and there's no way he knows how to pay taxes on $1.7 million. So, like, he's gonna get it, and then at the end of the year, like, oh, whoops, I owe my entire house to the government. Cool. Which, I mean, sucks that the system works that way, but also good.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about how the it was something that I think was mentioned on the Lost episode, but a lot of the liberals were all fawning over Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi for
Oh yeah.
getting a rise out of
we lost us talking about the fucking Pinocchio's comment from Chuck Schumer.
Oh yes! Oh my god,
Sir, the Washington Post gives you
Pinocchios.
Pinocchios for your misstatements on the wall.
Thanks, Chuck.
Misstatements. Hello, misstatements?
Yes, this is misstatements.
I am misstatements.
Please, misstatements was my mother. Call me Dr. Statements.
Doctor statements.
I like that idea though. Just like someone like using that like trope, the Mr. Whatever was my father, and then I'm actually a doctor, so you have to call me that.
Anyway, yeah, Chuck Schumer sucks. Nancy Pelosi's bad.
Oh, who was that Democrat who got ousted this last election? Who was like talking about AOC and just
Claire
like,
McCaskill.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, Claire
thank
McCaskill.
you. Yeah, she was like, I don't get it. What's so like? If she's talking the talk, she better walk the walk, as though she hasn't been walking the walk already, despite the fact that she has not talked a single bit of talk in the office.
She better walk the walk, she says, as she plummets down a bottomless pit.
So the next big news story from this week is, it's not a huge story, but it's very funny to me because it's pretty much been confirmed at this point that Trump did not in fact have bone spurs. We pretty much all kind of could tell that by this point because of everything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of his very truthful and honest nature.
Yeah, but it came out that like one of his dad's friends or whatever was like a
it was the
podiatrist.
The doctor who gave him his diagnosis of bone spurs was like a tenant of Trump's dad and did it as a favor to him.
Yeah.
And like, to be clear, this is like the one good thing Trump has done.
No, it's not. Stop saying that. Everyone's saying that.
Hold on.
He wasn't dodging the draft out of protest.
Sam, I was literally about to say the word "but." Please don't make please.
Look, Sarah, I know you love Donald Trump and you support all of his policies.
I was just gonna say, it's dodging the draft is the only good thing he's ever done, but he didn't even do it for the right fucking reasons, because the only reason he dodged it was because he thought the war was beneath him and not to, like, as an act of protest or anything.
Right.
Thank you for letting me finish my sentence, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, to the listeners, they won't hear all of the trying to talk over you that I was doing that got edited out. But ultimately, you were allowed to say your opinion, which is uncharacteristic of a podcast that I'm on, but what can you do?
I don't know, Sam. I might leave all that in. I need more evidence of you silencing women.
I mean, you say that, but the reality is that I wasn't talking, so... This whole thing has just been like 3-dimensional chess for me to virtue signal.
Yeah, I mean, the way this came out was that the doctor's daughter like reported it to some media outlet, which whatever, it is like a massive, enormous HIPAA violation, but I feel bad saying this, but I think given the context, it's whatever, it's fine.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
I don't think there is one.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like oh wait, sorry. Is the HIPAA violation would be lying about a diagnosis, right?
No, like revealing that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you meant it first. So my question is, if you lied about a diagnosis, are you really violating like doctor-patient confidentiality to admit that you lied?
I think so, because even in that case, it reveals a certain condition. A lack of a condition is still a statement from a doctor that you wouldn't have revealed otherwise. I know the words didn't make any sense.
No, I got you. But I guess that makes sense.
Like I don't know. I think it's a HIPAA violation, but
if you went to the doctor and you were like getting tested, if you went to the doctor and you were getting tested for like stinky butthole disease, and the doctor was like, I found that this patient did not have stinky butthole disease, like that's still revealing personal information, and now everyone knows that your butthole smells good.
And it's not because you're. No, it's. Well, I was gonna say you wouldn't go to the doctor worried about stinky butthole disease if your butthole didn't stink. So I think that's more of conveying the information that you do smell, and it's not because of a condition. You just have a poorly.
I'll be honest. Butthole. I was trying to figure out why his butthole smelled so bad, and I'm plumb out of ideas. But it's not stinky butthole disease.
Oh. 9 out of what's the cure for stinky butthole disease?
An enema, probably.
I don't think it's a disease. I think it's just like stinky butthole is a condition more than it is a disease.
Unless stinky butthole disease is a disease. That's why they call
I'm
it a
saying
disease.
that just like an enema would not. I don't think an enema would cure a disease of stinky butthole. I think it would cure a symptom of stinky butthole disease.
Okay, well, Patrick, you're a doctor, basically.
Yes, I am.
Patrick, you know about bugs. I think that makes you a doctor.
I think the real cure is prayer. That's all we can do, really.
All right, thank you, Science Site of Tumblr.
Anytime.
The results are in.
This is how to cure stinky butthole disease. So other news headlines from this week. Trump went to Iraq.
He did.
He did do that.
He did
after like not going.
Not like telling people. Like it was a very non-standard visit to Iraq.
I mean, I think he was probably just busy tweeting about other things.
Well, I mean, like I'm talking about, like he didn't notify like his certain essential members of his staff or something, or like it was
what
not,
else
like,
is new?
I mean, yeah, fair. But also while he was there, I learned this from. I had to sit down for like I visited my grandparents today, and one of my conservative uncles from out of town was there, so I sat down on the table and there was politics talk happening, and apparently
I'm sorry.
Trump. It wasn't that bad. I mean, he's still a conservative, so I don't like him, but like at least he's a conservative who absolutely despises Trump down to his core, which is, you know, it's we have a common ground that we both hate liberals and hate Trump.
That's good. I have had a similar conversation with my dad where we were both like shit talking liberals, and I was like, all right, I'll take it.
What you can get.
But the reason that I bring that up is because apparently Trump promised, like, he said that Trump apparently said that he said to the soldiers there that they have never seen a pay increase in the last 10 years, which is a bold-faced lie because for the last 5 years they have all experienced a pay percentage increase of 1 to 5%. And also he promised them a 10% pay grade increase, which wound up coming to about a 1.7% increase in their paychecks.
That's the same number.
Like
$1.7.
Listen, I am all for owning the military.
You want to own the military?
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Sarah is a big fan of private military corporations.
Yeah, I'm podcasting with fucking Blackwater over here.
I have some bad news for everyone.
What's your news?
I'm looking at Trump's Twitter, because I haven't done that in a minute. And you know how
is his header still that incredibly like zoomed image that's like heavily artifacted?
I mean, it's a image that's heavily artifacted, but I think that's just how Twitter works now. They're getting rid of PNGs. Did you hear? Apparently, that's really bad for artists.
That actually does fucking suck for like every artist that I know on the website.
Yeah. So Trump finally, I think, like, found out. He like caught on to the fact that there's that meme of like, there's a Trump tweet for everything, where it's like everything he says, you can find a tweet from him about Obama that's saying the opposite. He's trying to do his version of that, where he quote tweeted a 2011 tweet from Obama about how we need to take on the issue of illegal immigration, and he just said, "I totally agree."
I know it's a lot of the irony of it is lost on him, but my favorite part about all the there's always a Trump tweet for everything is that like the Trump tweets are like haters will hate, like, you know, liberals be like stabbing people in the stomach, and people will be like retweeting that the day after Trump like it found out that Trump stabbed someone in the stomach, and then like Trump is just like I gotta find a tweet about immigration. Hold on, let me do some digging, and just like grabs the most generic like thing you could possibly get. Like it would be like it's like one step above just like grabbing a tweet from Obama that just says we should enact policies.
I mean, Obama does suck, but
no, Obama does suck. It's just very funny.
Like the tweet is bad, and it's bad that he was saying like, let's never forget that Obama like. He had the most deportations of any president.
Yeah.
So like it is like No, like Obama totally is like on board with Trump's horrible immigration policies. Probably, he just says he's not.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, I got a helpful. For no fucking reason, I just got a little message from the Discord bot Clyde, who sent me an invisible message that says, "Hello, Beep Boop. If you want to invite friends to this server, click the server name in the top left and select Invite People. Beep, thanks."
Thanks, Clyde.
Thank you, Clyde.
Thanks, Clyde. I don't know why you did that just now, but thanks. Check out our Discord, everyone.
We should get one of those vanity URLs for it. We need to get that, like, the Discord dot. We got enough members that we actually might be able to, like, talk to Discord about it, see if we can get a vanity URL.
Can you do that on Discord? Probably not.
You can. I don't know how it works.
You can. Like,
really?
Like the Rochester Speedrun Discord is discord.gg/SRROC. By the way,
shit.
if you're a speedrunner in the upstate New York area, just go ahead and head to that Discord link. It's a great community. Great people.
Extremely narrow casting there, but all right.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we have people there who are just, like, friends and also, like, from all over. Like, there are people on that server who are, like, not even in the same, like, continent. Like, there's a couple of, like, Germans in the server.
I mean, also the thing about that is I'm not sure how much official attention from Discord we really want on our server.
There's nothing wrong with our server.
I mean, if you say so.
It's a good server.
He said so, like...
Here, I'm just going to put a little message here in general. Hello, Discord representatives. We love Discord, and we will suck your nuts. It's a little typo, but that's okay.
Yep.
And
It does!
and I think that when the Discord representatives arrive, they'll see that, and they'll understand. And they'll give us what we want.
Sam, seeing your Discord name did remind me of the very fun article that everyone lost their minds about for like 8 hours and then stopped thinking about forever.
What is that?
The article
What article?
about the man who loves to spend $20 on his internet and like makes $150,000 a year.
Oh,
How did Sam? That's your Discord name. That was like 3 days ago.
No, I think I didn't hear what you said properly.
Oh, I thought
I
you were
am
just
still
like,
having
just, like,
slight
forgot.
audio issues.
Oh, but yeah, everyone kind of forgot about it, but the article just like drove our server into a frenzy for a very brief while, kind of similar
$20
to
internet.
like that article broke me the same way that the article about Trump eating documents article broke Sam.
Oh my god. It was the Trump tearing up documents article that got me.
Yes, sorry, he tears them up, not the part where he eats them. That was later.
I'm still not entirely convinced that one's true. I do believe
was
that
it
he
an
rips
NBC
them up.
article?
Was it a member of our Discord who said that they like saw the $20 internet guy on Tinder?
Yes, it was. It was friend of the show, donor of the show, Roan, who chimed in and was like, "Hey, I fucking saw this dude on Tinder. I need to find it. I have no way to say yes or I have no way to definitively say either way that is or is not the same person, but the details align."
Well, there's one way to find out. Roan, if you're listening, go find that guy again, swipe right, get those deets. Find out the
hold on.
truth.
Do you guys remember
We will use
Here
the
in My
Patreon
Garage
money to give you funds for a super like.
Do you remember the Here in My Garage got this new Lamborghini here guy at all?
Ty
Fuck,
Lopez.
yeah.
One of my friends found him on a sugar daddy website once.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, it was just really funny because one time she was just like I don't know if she still uses those websites, but like one time she was just like on one of them and like Ty Lopez, like his profile picture was like him like flexing in front of like a really heavily loaded like weightlifting bar or whatever the things are called that you deadlift. And just he was like, "Hey, I got money."
How much money did your friend give him?
Oh no, other way around.
Oh.
Yeah, he was pretending to be a sugar daddy.
He finds sugar daddies and they just give him Lamborghinis.
That he drives up there in the Hollywood Hills.
So what else happened this week, gang?
Other things that happened this week. Ruth Bader Ginsburg went in for some cancer surgery on her lungs. She's fine. according to the most recent news update, but still kind of scary.
She's fine, but she died.
Well, no, she's fine.
Oh,
I mean, she's as fine as she can be at 85. She should have fucking retired 12 years ago.
She should have fucking retired when Obama was still president. Jesus
She
Christ.
should have retired the day he was inaugurated.
God.
I mean,
What
like,
is the...
I know I've said this before, and listen, I don't want Ruth Bader Ginsburg to die. Let's be clear about Obama voice. Let me be clear. I would love nothing more than for Ruth Bader Ginsburg to survive until the end of the Trump administration, so that she can resign and live out the rest of her years peacefully without having to do the fucking high stress shit that is the Supreme Court. At the same time,
she can finally begin her rap career.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, our Supreme Court is not really in. It's already at a 5-4 split leaning Republican, and like, granted, a 6-3 is worse than a 5-4.
If it goes to 6-3, we're all gonna fucking die.
I mean, if it gets the thing is 5-4, 6-3. The only solution to both of those is the Dems packing the courts the next time we have the opportunity to do so. Like, I definitely 6-3 is worse than 5-4, but like, it's not that much worse. I think Kavanaugh was like the point, and like, RBG dying here would just be like icing on the cake, but like, the cake's already been baked. We have to fucking just take a sledgehammer to the cake and pack the courts.
I mean, you don't fucking ice a cake before it's baked.
The real issue is 5-4 versus 6-3. Obviously, like, it's gonna go the same way pretty much every time. It's gonna go in favor of whatever the Republicans want. But the difference is 6-3 is even more time that they can reset the clock and make it take even longer for us to get someone else in, unless we fucking pack the courts.
I mean, we need to pack the courts either way. Like, I think that, like, even if RBG survives to the end of this term and, like, we get President Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2020.
Don't even fucking say that.
Yeah, we're not talking about
rather
the fucking
have Trump.
primaries.
Listen, Sam, I'm not talking in real life. I'm just talking in the world of Detroit Become Human, the world that they prognosticated.
I love Detroit.
For
Can
us.
we talk about Detroit Become Human for once?
No, we can't, Sam.
No.
Please?
No.
Please?
Fine.
It's not very good. Have I talked on this podcast about when I found out the art of Connor and Hank as ponies?
Oh, I don't know. I've definitely heard this. I don't know if it's been recorded, though.
I mean, that's the whole story right there. There's not really anything else to say.
All right.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
No, it didn't surprise me either.
Okay, good. But yeah, like, I hope RBG, I think I may have been wrong a little bit. I do still contend that 6-3 is not that much worse than 5-4, but it is still definitely worse than, it is worse than I thought it was originally. So,
you can only
you
get
are
so
correct.
wet.
What?
You can only get so wet.
You're not wrong.
The vote can only go so far to the right, is what I mean by that. Therefore, it's 5-4, make it 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah, that's the logical conclusion here.
Make it 6 Republicans, 9 Democrats. Nice.
Nice. Make it 0 Republicans, 69 Democrats.
So the next note that we have, the next little thing that we have in our notes is a note that just says Mnuchin to Banks, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what this is about, so this will be fun.
I threw this in there. Over the last, like, couple days, not counting, like, the last 2, a bunch of stock markets have just plummeted. They've had some of their worst weeks in, like, a decade. And in response to this, Steve Mnuchin, who's the Secretary of the Treasury,
and executive producer of Suicide Squad.
And executive producer of Suicide Squad. He called a bunch of big banks, and he was like, hey, I know this looks bad, but actually, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, it's good to us.
Because if there's one hard and fast rule of economics, it's that if everything's going really well, you have to tell people to make sure they know that.
Right, and banks are too big to fail, usually.
There was this tweet thread from Scott Benson, the guy who made Night in the Woods. Well, one of the guys who made Night in the Woods. He was part of a team for that, but I digress. At Bombsfall on Twitter, I recommend you follow him. He's a very great Twitter person. But he said, so earlier this year, we had enough money for the first time to think about retirement savings. We're definitely never going to be able to retire, but it seemed like you're supposed to look into, like, 401ks or something. We went to a guy to discuss it, and we were like, hey, we don't want to do stocks or the market or anything. We just want to squirrel something away in a boring place. I didn't want to explain our moral issues with some of it, so I just said we wanted to stay boring. Looking for another reason, I said that it also seemed like we're due for a recession soon, and he, not to be dissuaded, directed our attention to a chart on the wall showing values of different kinds of investment over the years. See, over the long term, the market only goes up. And I was like, well, I was around for the '08 crash, and I remember what happened there. And he was like, yes, but the line keeps going up.
There you have it.
Also, I feel like it's important to note the market, at least the Dow Jones, has bumped up like another 800 points over like the last couple days. So like we're not. Maybe
Muchin was right.
We're not imminently on the edge of a crash, but like
but we're like coming. Teetering.
Yeah, I mean that's just how these systems work. Even if the president was not Trump, the stock market
recessions do happen like all the time.
Right.
That's just like the natural cycle of it. But it's always going to happen. But does it always have to be a disaster? That's the question.
I mean, I can think of some good ways for it to not happen.
Like abolishing capitalism?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We can just get rid of it.
But
no crashes if there's no money.
How do we know that the socialism stock market's not going to have issues?
The socialism stock market...
You can't answer it, I'm right.
No, I can. My answer is that the only stock markets we need under socialism is the stockades to put the capitalists in.
Okay, but...
buy them at the market. Do you get... It's a...
No, I do get it. Just how do we know that those won't decline when they're hit with a flurry of tomatoes?
Well, if they do, then that's good. That's functioning as intended.
Just like throwing tomatoes like the dad in Jack Frost. Like just the windmill stick arms.
I was picturing Aang in Avatar: The Last Airbender when he makes like a tornado rocket launcher under his armpit or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think so. We could also be talking about the scene in Elf when Buddy the Elf gets into a snowball fight.
We could be talking about a lot of things.
Yeah,
I think SpongeBob also did something with that once.
I wish that I hadn't brought up Elf, because now I'm just thinking about Elf and how much I fucking hate that movie.
I love that movie.
Elf fucking sucks.
It is
Elf
so weird that the person who hates Christmas probably more than anyone on this podcast, am maybe the biggest fan of the movie Elf on this podcast.
The thing about Elf is that it's just like I think it's just that I don't like Will Ferrell. Like I don't think I've liked a single movie that I've seen Will Ferrell in.
I love Will Ferrell.
No, that's a lie, because I did see his face in the Lego movie. And
he was really good in the Lego movie.
He
is.
That's a great movie.
I just said that. Yeah, I do see. I forgot that you do see his face in that movie for like 20 seconds at the very end.
He's also in Zoolander.
I haven't seen Zoolander.
He's
actually
alright in Zoolander. I have a feling Zoolander is one of those ones that doesn't hold up.
You're wrong.
Probably not. I would guess.
You're wrong.
The joke about them opening like the old Apple computer, and because they're like, oh, the files are in the computer, and they like just take a sledgehammer to it. It's very funny.
I like the Center for Ants is funny.
That's a good bit.
All the funny gay, that's funny.
But Why Male Models is funny. The gas station scene. Hello.
Tragic gas. What was it? Tragic gasoline fight accident, I think is the phrasing. That is a funny line.
We're pretty far in. Do we want to do 2019 predictions?
There's a couple other things I wanted to talk about that
let's rocket through these next things. And then...
wait, quick question: is Zoolander funny gay? Because I always got that impression from that movie. Like,
there are definitely elements of funny.
I would be surprised if there weren't elements of funny gay,
but it is not the core concept.
Right.
No.
Compared to like Blades of Glory, where the core concept is funny gay, but the movie's still really funny around that.
Gotcha. So Mattis and John Kelly are out. I mean, we don't really have much commentary.
Who cares?
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Liberals will be like, this is the Mattis was the last Maverick, or was it Kelly? I straight up don't remember.
Who gives a shit? They're the same.
We're out of Mavericks. God damn it, John McCain, come back. I'm frankly surprised John Kelly wasn't already out. I thought Mattis already left, so fuck it, who cares?
Yeah. Another child died in the custody of ICE. I believe it was a Guatemalan 10-year-old boy. I'm going to double check that, make sure that I have the information correct.
I believe he was 8.
Let's double check.
regardless of the age, it's fucked up and horrible. And there's...
Yeah.
Yep. Felipe Gomez Alonso, 8 years old, died in ICE custody. ICE needs to be fucking stricken from the face of the earth. And all of their officers need to be tried for war crimes.
Yes, I agree.
Speaking of, this just kind of struck me as funny earlier this week. On the topic of war crimes, on the topic of child
Speaking
death.
of funny war crimes.
Yeah, speaking of funny war crimes.
I don't think we as like a people spent enough time on the FBI trying to crowdsource the Nuremberg trials.
Sorry?
What?
Remember when the FBI tweeted, like, if you have any evidence of people committing, like, war crimes, please let us know?
I didn't see that. That seems like something the
this was
FBI
from
wouldn't want
like
to ask.
a few days ago, and of course, everyone was just like retweeting with pictures of members of the Bush administration.
Yeah, Bush, Cheney, Kissinger,
who literally can't leave the fucking country because they're terrified of being arrested on foreign soil. But you know.
Mm-hmm. And the last two were kind of shout-outs that I really wanted to make sure that were covered. One is Scott Gelb, the Riot Games Chief of Operations. I wouldn't normally bring this up, but I've been speaking as someone who's played League of Legends for like 7 years and has been following the scene very aggressively for 6 of those years. If you're not aware, earlier this year, Kotaku did like a huge expose about the bro culture at Riot, and Scott Gelb, the chief, the COO, was put on a 2-month unpaid suspension for his documented behavior. This was done by an external, unbiased source. So they did this investigation. They found that he had been ball tapping his employees and also farting on them and making humping motions as a joke on them.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. And it's just really disheartening to see that Riot, like, after the Kotaku expose came out, Riot, like, tried to save face. They, like, put out a whole, like, initiative thing on their website about how they're going to try and be better. And they, like, their punishment for this guy is 2 months of unpaid suspension, which, considering this guy's been on the ground floor since League of Legends started, this man has fucking more money than all 3 of us can even think of, so he's going to be just fine. Compare this to Matthias Lehman and Daniel Z. Klein, who were fired pretty much the exact same day that they both called the League of Legends subreddit a toxic trash fire after the League of Legends subreddit was throwing a shit fit because Riot Games decided to host a panel that did not allow men in for the first 2 hours of it. There were men allowed after those first 2 hours, but those first 2 hours were non-men only. The community threw a shit fit. Daniel Z. Klein said these guys are fucking toxic garbage. Matthias Lehman backed him up. They both got shit canned within the day. And I'm just very red, mad, and nude about it because I've known for a long time that Riot Games is not like a great company. Their character, especially when it comes to like women in general, like even their character designs are just like really fucking horny and like it's very teenager. It's a very teenage view of women, but you know, to see that coming all the way from the fucking top is just. And this kind of like I've kind of petered off playing the game, but I'm confident to say that I'm not going back to it.
Yeah, Dota's better anyway.
Not by much, but yeah.
I don't play MOBAs because I am a good person.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd like to give a very quick shout out. I know this is really stupid, but it is funny to me. I have to admit to Macaulay Culkin had a poll for what he should legally change his middle name to, and Macaulay Culkin won, and he's going to change his name to Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, that's good.
I'm really disappointed that the McRibisback didn't win. Publicity stunt would also have been a very funny middle name. But yeah,
so
not even close. Macaulay Culkin won by a lot.
This is gonna be a hard left on this one, and I'm sorry I should have done this one first before I got into the other things. But so some of you may have heard about this. A trans boy in a West Virginia high school, Liberty High School in West Virginia, aged like 14, 15, was pretty much chased into a bathroom. This was on video. The vice principal, Lee Livengood, followed this kid into the bathroom and asked why he was using it, where the kid was using a stall, asked him why he was in the men's facilities, and then told the trans kid to come out here and use the urinal to prove that he was a boy.
Oh my god.
I'm reading from the article.
Yeah.
The incident then escalated as Livingood reportedly blocked the exit and asked Michael what would happen if another boy thought Michael was checking him out in the bathroom. As Michael left the bathroom, Livingood allegedly said, "I'm not going to lie, you freak me out." Would you like to know the kind of punishment that was dealt to this man of Lee Livingood?
Slap on the wrist.
He was given 4 days suspension because he was suspended until the end of the semester, and it's fucking December.
Yay. That matters.
So
The only comment I have about this,
I feel so fucking bad for this kid. Like, nothing bad has ever happened to me in a bathroom, but, like, as a trans woman, I'm still always terrified to go inside any bathrooms. And, like, if this happened to me when I was, like, 15, I would never use the bathroom in public again. Like, ever.
Yeah,
like, this is
horrible.
supposed to... Like,
It's crazy.
Like, not even a student. This was the vice fucking principal of his school. This is so infuriating.
I think that Lee Livingood should change his name to Lee Dyinggood. Just saying.
Yeah, this man should be on a registered sex offenders list, and I'm not even fucking joking about that.
No, I mean yes. What he did was absolutely sexual harassment.
This is also. I don't think we covered this one, but this is also on the heels of that. The video, I don't know if either of you guys saw the video of the trans girl in, like, high school being chased in there, like, so them using, like, the like, a broom to, like, pry open the lock so they can, like, yell at her while her pants were down about her being in the wrong bathroom.
That's...
Yeah, it's just
you can just do anything if you're employed. If you've got tenure, you can really just fuck around and do whatever, can't you?
Pretty much.
Anyways, you want to get into predictions for next year?
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Who's got some... Well, there's one. It is going to be bad. I don't feel... That's not even like a prediction at this point. It's just
Biden
like,
O'Rourke 2020, fuck it. That's going to be their slogan. Biden O'Rourke 2020, fuck it.
I'm just thinking about this and it hurts me on a visceral level.
Biden O'Rourke 2020 will make you come.
Okay, well...
We will cramp your thighs.
It was calves. Biden makes you come. O'Rourke makes you come until your calves cramp. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I forgot that you memorized the tweet.
I haven't memorized the tweet, but that phrase is burned into my brain for the rest of my life.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of what else was coming in 2020. We're obviously going to keep litigating the 2016 primary elections.
Yeah, it's going to happen
forever. Yeah, I have one. I think the Mueller investigation is going to last until about mid March.
I was going to say mid-May.
I think it's wrapping up. One of them, and a month with an M, and then absolutely fucking nothing will happen. Maybe
zero
like
consequence.
Maybe some like minor players in the administration. Yeah, for Trump. I think some folks are definitely like going to jail, but I don't think the president or his family will be touched.
It would be great if Donald Trump Jr. went to jail.
It would be great if all of them went to jail.
I mean,
even
if all of them went to jail, but like, if I didn't have to receive updates from like the epic shit that Donald Trump Jr. was doing to own the libs from like left-leaning media sites, like, leave that. I'm begging you, for 2019, let your New Year's resolution be just stop quote tweeting idiots to dunk on them. Like,
but it's so fun.
I know I myself am very guilty of this as well. Do not get me wrong. This is not me coming from. I'm fully recognizing the hypocrisy in this statement. I need to leave this behind because it is doing nothing good except providing a very brief moment of superiority, and then I am exposing all of my followers to this bigoted, stupid, idiot content on their timeline. You don't need, just fucking leave them. Leave it and leave them, and just leave that behind.
Yeah.
Don't bring that with you in
offer
2019.
A counterpoint. Do keep dunking on them because it's funny. I'm sorry. I don't see the harm in it. Keep dunking on them. That's what I think. Now we've got our two opinions.
Are you being contrarian as a joke, or are you actually saying that?
I think
that you shouldn't like click links to websites that get money from clicks, but I don't see the problem with quote tweeting assholes.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I personally see it depends on the kind of asshole you're retweeting, because like, I don't need to see retweets. I don't need to see quote retweets of you dunking on someone who's saying like trans women in like 50 quotation marks are really just men. Like, I don't need to see that. Even if you're going to yell at them, like on my Twitter timeline, I don't need to see you just yelling about how I don't need to see this person yelling about how, being a man is a biological thing. Like, I'm sure you're refuting it and doing just fine, but just, like, it's exposing your timeline to, like, hate that they explicitly curate their timeline to be free of, but you still show it to them because I would
say I think it depends on what you're quote tweeting, and also I think that is kind of a matter of, like, if you want to follow accounts that do that. I mean, if someone's quote tweeting stuff, you can just be like, well, I don't like this and I'm leaving. I think it's just a matter of personal preference.
I think I would agree that it is a matter of personal preference, but I think we as a society could stand to do it less because it's not engaging with that. It's a matter of deplatforming at a certain point. You are exposing these. I feel like I could be completely out of line here, but this is, I feel like, what I've been feeling myself and what I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of my peers also feeling similarly, of like, this is not to quote tweet them to your audience, even if it is to yell at them, it is still to give them a platform to debate them on the free market of ideas, quote unquote, to borrow a parlance from the liberals.
Maybe. I just don't know if it's really, like, giving them what they want, or I don't know. I guess I don't know is the end of this.
I think there are definitely arguments to be made on either side. And, like, I totally understand where both of you are coming from. I'm definitely super guilty of it. And I think what I'm going to start trying to do, as progress is, instead of, like, retweeting their terrible bad opinions, just looking for, like, the abjectly weird ones, because those are fun to dunk on. And also it doesn't, like, put Nazi propaganda on anybody's feed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any more predictions?
We've got some predictions
but our
from
audience does.
Oh yeah, we're gonna read some.
We put out the call. We did the horn from the wall. We did the one toot for the Rangers returning, and
Gondor calls for aid.
What's that?
Gondor calls for aid.
What happens when there's two toots
How
of the
many
horn?
fantasy series can we reference?
What happens when there's two toots? I know 3 toots is White Walkers.
Two. I think 2 is Wildlings and one is
Rangers returning. 2 is Wildlings. 3 is White Walkers.
Okay,
the
so
others, if you want to be.
We tooted 4 times to get the attention of everyone because this is worse than White Walkers.
And everyone's like, "Oh no, others!" And then they go, and they're like, "Okay, we got to get our predictions into hkipgtt.tumblr.com/ask."
Send a raven.
Just once, I wish Hodor would say hkipgtt.tumblr.com/ask.
You say that would be a pretty big get for us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he has a cameo profile. We can give that guy $800 to say the name of our Tumblr.
Here's a really good one that's really just been. I peeked at these during my work day because I had nothing fucking else to do. This one from Totsugeki Allspark, who says Prince Philip says the N-word during his coronation.
I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen.
Well, but like half of these predictions are like jokey joke things. Last year, my prediction was that a skeleton would literally fall out of Trump's like physical actual closet, like an actual physical skeleton.
That did happen.
It happened.
Oh, it did. I must have missed that.
I want to address something here. Just to go back to what we were talking about a minute ago. We have a thing from Shaup in the Discord. It says there's a difference between quote tweeting "trans people aren't real" and I'm Jacob Wall saying something demonstrably incorrect but not directly hurtful. I just want to clarify. In case I accidentally said something that I didn't mean to, I do agree with that you shouldn't just quote tweet direct, like, there's a difference between some things that you could dunk on and other things. I just want to make sure that's clear in case I accidentally
I guess
made
where I'm
my
coming down on this
wrong.
is like the fucking the Father Ted guy, I can't even remember his name anymore.
Graham Lynham.
What's that? Graham Lynham, thank you. Graham Lynham, he's been dunked on enough. I don't need to see him being dunked on again. It feels like every day it's just like, yep, Graham Lynham has tweeted another transphobic thing, and here it is on your timeline 50 fucking times. Like,
no, I agree with that because in this case, I mean, also I do think, but also just the dunks on him it's just boring. Like, everyone knows he's a dumbass.
It's been like a year of this shit by this point.
It's not funny dunking on. It's just boring, and I don't care. I mean, I do care. It's just not good to see on my Twitter feed. Have I expressed enough different opinions on this one topic now?
Yeah. So Prince Philip says the N-word during his coronation. Probably not going to happen, but if it does, I like to imagine it would like explode out of him like a sneeze.
Well, he's giving his coronation speech while a meteor starts hurtling towards Earth, and that's the only way he can stop it.
No. His coronation speech is, and now I will read the entire script of Birth of a Nation.
Oh, God. And now some of my favorite Wu-Tang lyrics.
And now a transcript of my favorite PewDiePie stream.
Jesus. Speaking of streams, here's one from host of the show Alex Dork Phoenix. So apart from the general ones of, quote, more natural disasters / Hollywood scandal / boring Democratic candidates, my predictions are a major politician gets their fetish outed.
Okay, hold on. Starters. First of all, who and what fetish? I'm going to say Chuck Schumer feet.
Schumer
that's
definitely
kind of a given, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. He was staying in Nancy Pelosi's high heels when
Yes.
they were leaving the Trump meeting.
I think that's it. I think that's literally going to happen this year. Someone fucking dies on a Twitch stream.
Do any of you know enough streamers to say who?
No, it's only like law of large numbers, though. I'd honestly be shocked if this hasn't happened already.
It's probably already happened.
I mean, it came close to happening when one of those streamers tried to swat someone else, and then they wound up like swatting some rando who got shot like 50 times.
I don't think that
when they left
happened
their
on
house.
stream, though.
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen on stream to the person who got shot because the person who got shot was not involved. The
Right.
other two people who were actively streaming the whole time.
Oh, good. Trump shits himself giving a speech, which is funny because we also have a prediction that he's going to piss himself in public from Bialystock and Bloom. A prominent leftist drinks the Kool-Aid and switches to the right. Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Who's it going to... I don't want to predict about who it's going to be.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
That'll just
And
get
Dragon
depressing.
Age 4 is bad. Of course it is. They're all bad.
I mean, Dragon Age 4 isn't even happening next year. Like, Anthem hasn't even happened yet. Like, Anthem is happening, like, next year, and, like, there's no way in hell BioWare puts out another game next year. And if they, especially because they only, like, just announced it, and they also said, we are going to show it, but it's not coming for a while, which is just, like, a telltale sign of, like, we really don't have anything to show because we are in the nowhere zone where we have shown everything that we can show for Anthem, but also... Is it Anthem? Anthem, right?
Yes.
I have no idea.
It is Anthem.
But they're like, we have shown everything that we can show of Anthem, and that game is not out
Anthem
for
looks
2 months.
so fucking boring.
But we still have something that we still have to show something for the Game Awards. So here is a rough thing about Dragon Age 4.
Yeah, I do want to apologize for what I said a moment ago. I've only played the first Dragon Age, but I do think it's pretty boring.
I mean, I've
heard the
Dragon
others are
Age
better.
3 is. Also, I just want to say, Nick Jagged in the Discord server said that Kamala Harris's macro fetish is going to get outed at some point this year.
Sure. Why not?
This next prediction comes into us from Tumblr user Wonderboner, who says, not to hashtag resistance, but I predict one or both of the large adult Trump sons will be cooperating with the Mueller investigation by September.
Hold on. I'm going to count down from 3, and we're all going to say the Trump son that it's going to be, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Aaron.
Barron. It's gonna be Barron. I know he's not technically an adult son.
No, he's not a large adult
either.
son, but I do think that he's
Eric.
going to
It's
be
gonna be
cooperating with
Eric.
Mueller.
I mean, it'll be Eric between the two of them. I don't think either of them will. I think honestly what's more likely is Trump, the senior, ratting out both of them and them going to jail for it.
I actually
funny.
have a counterpoint. Because I do think that Donald Jr. is the one who is like the most loud, like constant suck up. But I think that I could actually see him being the one who turns on him because Trump never returns any of his affections in any way ever. I could see him flipping on his dad if he breaks.
Maybe.
To expound further on the Bialystock and Bloom prediction that was mentioned earlier, to quote from them, I'm going to go ahead and say that at one point in 2019, Donald J. Trump will somehow piss himself in public and MAGA chuds are going to follow suit and piss themselves to own the libs. The right to public urination will become a talking point on the right. This pretty much already happened, I think, with the with Charlie Kirk's diaper stunt.
Oh god, it did. Oh my god, I forgot about that shit.
I mean, granted, that was not in response to anything Donald Trump had done, but, like, I don't know. I remember seeing a tweet.
I mean, if he did piss himself, they absolutely would all start pissing themselves. I remember seeing a lot of
a tweet from like halfway through the year that was like fake screenshots of a Twitter timeline where Donald Trump falls on stage and his pants fall down to reveal that he's wearing a diaper, and then someone photoshopped an image of Paul Joseph Watson wearing a diaper, and I don't want to live.
I like this one from Nick Jagged. In 2019, Chuck Schumer is Pokemon going to directly parrot eugenicists' talking points about migrants.
Probably.
I think that's
are we going to hear about... Oh, Chuck Schumer's going to talk about... what's the thing that... What was the thing that the White House official account tweeted? Was it replacement theory?
Yes, chain migration theory.
Chain migration, yes. Chuck Schumer's going to address that as like a proper thing.
I do think it's worth talking about this, though, that America like does have a history of literally doing eugenics to immigrants and like sterilizing...
and Native Americans.
Yeah.
And just black people.
Yeah, so I honestly would not be surprised if Chuck Schumer did eugenics, because there's a lot of liberals who like eugenics in the same way that liberals believe that we live in a meritocracy and like hard work will get you everywhere. Liberals also believe that like people of lower intelligence shouldn't be allowed to breed. So yeah, I think this is true.
Here's another one from Nick Jagged that just really tickled my fancy. Saudi Arabia will first unmoor and then flip over Qatar like a pancake.
I believe it's pronounced Qatar.
Qatar, sorry.
This one is obviously a little rambunctious, but I do think like...
I just like the imagery of like a country just like doing that.
I mean, keep your eyes on Saudi Arabia, I think, over, if not this next year, or the next like 2 or 3. Shit's gonna get bad there in the near future, methinks.
Yeah. I've got one last one that I wanted to shout out from Mike Dawson. If there's other ones you guys want to go ahead, but this one's just really good for me. Someone will take the beloved Dick Spencer face punch to the next level and kick a right-wing asshole in the dick on national television.
God, I would love to see that.
Follow up, said person may be in a handmade gritty mascot suit.
That would be so good to see.
Oh my god, a gritty tribute fursuit.
But with the part of their leg that hits them in the junk, the costume there would be like a part with no costume, because I don't want there to be any padding.
Okay.
Richard Spencer gets put in Mickey's Dick Smasher.
Should we do Lightbringers this week?
Yeah, I have one I actually want to talk about.
Yeah, I've got one too. I finished watching 2 anime this week, and they were both really good.
That's great. What's yours, Patrick?
I'm going to talk about both of them. One of them's already been recommended on here before. I'm pretty sure by Patrick, actually, which is Cells at Work.
Wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Might have been by me. I finally finished up the last 2 remaining episodes that I hadn't finished when I was watching the show for whatever reason. It's a really good show. It's really cute. It explains a lot about the human body in ways that make sense to me that I kind of forgot about in when I took biology.
Compared really to how most animes explain the human body, which is with giant titties.
Yeah. But no, the character designs are all really good. It's really cute. It's really funny too. Got a lot of good laughs out of me. And I really recommend it. I'm going to make a top 5. I might have actually watched enough anime this year to make a top 10 list, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to make one of those. Other anime that I finished watching was SSSS Gridman, which was Trigger's take on the giant man genre of anime. And
Kamala Harris's favorite genre.
What's that? Thank you. But given how Trigger did with Darling in the Franxx and Kill la Kill, well, actually no, Kiznaiver was their previous endeavor prior to Darling in the Franxx, so they're kind of on a hit-miss record right now.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Darling in the Franxx is the one where teenagers are bred and genetically engineered to pilot robots by the girls getting in doggy-style position, and they're the controls for the robot, and then the boy gets behind them and fucks them while they pilot the robot.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you, 53rd Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. This will not improve Japan's declining birth rate.
Sarah, please confirm that I'm not exaggerating. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. I didn't watch very much of it, but what I saw of it just looked awful.
I don't think they literally fuck, but they look like they're fucking.
They look very much like they're fucking. It's symbolism. Do you get it? And given that, I was a little bit worried, but Trigger really delivered on this. On top of it being a phenomenal action show, like the emotional, like the microcosm stuff, like the stuff that was happening between characters, not just between giant robots and kaiju, was really good. It was funny, it was heartfelt, and the action scenes it's a Trigger show, so you know the action scenes are going to look fucking phenomenal. It's just absolutely really, really good show. Tight 12 episodes, really great character design. All of the character designs are actually based after, like, Transformers, which fucking owns, if you ask me. But, SSSS Gridman, go watch it. Really good.
Yeah, I just started it today. I'm a couple episodes in, and it's good. But
it's also, one last thing. It is refreshingly low on horny.
Yeah,
for a Trigger,
which is odd.
I cannot say that it is entirely devoid of it, but even saying that, like, it's very, very low, especially considering like how some of the characters have been designed. Like, I feel like I remember hearing one of the characters was being designed specifically to just look like a hot piece of ass, and like,
right, they're ginormous titties, but they don't jiggle.
Pretty much, yeah, that's the best way to put it.
All right. So my Lightbringer this week is one I've been like kind of waiting to recommend for a few weeks, but haven't really been able to until right now. It is the Strangers Project by an artist called Felix Kramer. You can find it online at strangers.atrocityland.com. It's this really, really cool, like, fiction bestiary world-building website that is finally coming back after nearly 2 years of being on hiatus. The designs and the writing are all super great. It's one of my, like, favorite art things on the internet. And you should really, really check it out because it's super cool, and I would love to talk about it with more people. I don't really want to get super into it because there's a lot of, like, cool spoilery stuff that you can discover as you dive in. So I'll just tell you again. That link again is strangers.atrocityland.com.
I also have a Lightbringer where I'm not actually going to talk about the thing too much, because my Lightbringer is I just finished playing the game Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward.
Yes!
And it's so fucking good and weird, and it like exploded my asshole, and it was very, like, melted my brain. It's very weird, and I don't really know how to describe it, but if you like weird visual novels with weird bullshit science that kind of makes sense but also doesn't, but also does.
It's science that makes sense in the same way that, like, JoJo science kind of makes sense.
It makes sense in its own context.
Yeah. I just, like, Virtue's Last Reward is probably, it's definitely in my top 10, possibly my top 5 games of all time. And, like,
you have to play 999 first, which isn't as good, but it does get better, I promise.
The thing about Kotaro Uchikoshi games is that when you play 999, you think, wow, that was there. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you think, wow, that was an interesting story. There's no way Uchikoshi can outdo himself, and then that happens again and again, and pretty much every time I've played an Uchikoshi game, I've thought, I know all of Uchikoshi's old tricks, and then, like, by the end, steam is blowing out my ears, and my head is, like, untwisted like a fucking...
And I do want to crank my hog for a moment, and you can confirm that I was live blogging it to you and friend of the show Nathan the entire time, calling every shot left and right from the fucking beginning, just getting everything right with almost perfect accuracy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just gonna give myself a little pat on the back for that.
It was genuinely wild. Like, Nathan and I had to respond with the boilerplate comment of interesting, no comment every time Sam predicted anything, and 80% of the time that Sam guessed something on a complete lark, we would just send each other a really bad looking picture of SpongeBob SquarePants that was supposed to convey distress.
Yes, when I finished 999, Nathan just, like, started posting screenshots of your DMs to each other, where every time I said anything, you just sent each other that SpongeBob inflating picture. Oh god,
yeah,
I'm so fucking cool and smart. Holy shit.
Yeah, Kotaro Uchikoshi is a fucking genius, and I'm really excited to see what he does next. He's working on a game right now, I think, and I can't remember what it's called. But it looks good.
All right. Oh, is that the one that he's working on with Spike Chunsoft, the Danganronpa people?
Yes, but it's not But the guy who made Danganronpa himself left to go do a different game, so it's not that project.
Oh.
It's not the project from the Danganronpa guy.
Okay.
But it is the
Well,
project that he's
shit.
doing with Spike Chunsoft, which is, I'm going to look it up real quick. It's going to bother me if I don't.
Danganronpa sucks, but it's also the fucking shit, and it's the best, and I love it. While you do that...
it's called AI: The Somnium Files.
Okay.
Which has work from the Fire Emblem designer, which is weird. But anyways,
should we wrap this up with our bullshit?
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Makers and Just Pokemon Going to Die. We all love you very much, but we love some people more than we love others. To explain that more, what?
I don't know that we want to say we love the people who give us money more.
No, sorry. I forgot. That's a joke that Blair and I make on fear baiting, not the joke that I make on this podcast. I've been away for a while. I'll cut that. We love you all, and we love all your support. We crossed. In fact,
we love our patrons less.
We crossed a year of this podcast recently, which is fucking wild. We're putting together a little thank you thing.
So this is the last podcast of this year. Very early into next year, you will be receiving a little thank you message from a bunch of us here at HKIP Studios, just for sticking with us for the year.
I didn't do anything for that message because I'm bad at that shit, but I feel the same.
And if you would like to support the podcast, patreon.com/HKIPGTD. We would absolutely welcome it. If you can't support, fine. If you want to support, excellent. $1 a month gets you access to any and all of our bonus content, pre-shows, post-shows, mid-shows, outtakes, and Lightbringers, extended Lightbringers. We just put one up today from me about an anime that I watched earlier this year and fell head over heels in love with, called Kaiji. It's about gambling and how it is a socialist must. It's like number 1 Das Kapital, number 2 Kaiji.
And he's got a big nose.
He does have a big nose.
Big funny nose. That's the only thing I know about Kaiji.
$5 a month gets you special user status in the Discord and your name right on the show. $10 a month gets you a different special user status in the Discord, your name right on the show, and you get to listen to us live. So, since this is the last one of the year, I'm going to send the Patreon list off in style with one last full breath reading, and I'm done with this bit forever. Ronberg, Scout Shiro, HE Double Hockey Sticks, Fully Automated Luxury Gay Spade Hellcat, Stephanie Roth, Ashley New, Pregnant Seidfeld, David Besser, Alex Schaup, Alngazuma Koi Boingo, Six Arms Road, Tuffster McGee, Crit the Books, Brian, Mogu the Panda, Nick Clarkson, Kadeho Jones, Flo Siegel, Sophie, Destry Hawk, Single Pair Sonic Empire, Pierre the Disaster, George Homework, Funeral Bush Funeral City, 350 billion dead, The Tallest Jew, Michael Williams, Surrey Jack. I can't do this.
No, you can't do it. There's too many names that are too many words now.
And too many H's, especially since after non-binary with left beef, the next one is Hank Hill's Hentai Hankering.
Yeah, which is a very good name and also very mean to you.
Yeah. Summergeist, Helga K, Mr. Big the Cat, Harry Tomlinson, Dijonnaise, Actual Socialist, Elon Musk, Garfield, Hentai, Benjamin Kingston, Faria, Pedaz, Evan, Ollie Anders, and Ellen the Anarcho-Lalandius. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like
I do want to give a quick shout out specifically to Nick Jagged, aka Oingo Zuma Kua Boingo, whose Discord display name right now is Snowingazuma Kua Borealis, which is just so much to look at with my eyes right now.
I would also like to thank Nick Jagged for making me listen to more Oingo Boingo, because they're a good band.
Oingo Boingo is good. I've listened to approximately 3 songs of theirs ever, but I do enjoy all of them.
You should really listen to the entire album that is good for your soul.
I know. I really need to listen to more of them.
Yeah. If you want to find us, we're HKIPGTD everywhere. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, even Reddit. Thank you, Reddit user Bisexual Punch Party, for running that whole show for us.
Whoever's editing this episode, please end this with Private Life by Oingo Boingo.
I'm going to end it with Good for Your Soul by Oingo Boingo.
But I don't know that one.
End it with Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo.
That is one of the 3 that I know.
I'm going to end it with the one that we all know, which is Who Do You Want to Be today?
I don't know that one.
You don't, really?
You know what?
Did you not play Tony Hawk's American Wasteland?
I say that I've only heard 3 songs of theirs, but I think that, like, a really, really early episode of this, I believe it was the song Capitalism by Oingo Boingo, which I didn't, which is the 4th one that I know now.
But if you would like to find me elsewhere, I am at SunhatZhenya on Twitter. That's also my Twitch, where I've been streaming more lately. Chie Sachinakas on Tumblr, where I've been a little bit more active lately, because I guess the impending doom of the site has brought me back in a sort of way to just make my peace with the website before I am irreversibly nuked from orbit. You can also check me out on my other podcast that I do, also on the Noisespace.xyz network, which are Fear Baiting and The Wonder Years. Fear Baiting is a horror movie podcast that I do with my friend Blair. And The Wonder Years is a podcast that I also do with Blair and our friend Seda about the great podcast, or the great book of Animorphs. I was also a guest on a recent episode of the podcast Setting the Record Queer, which is a great podcast it's a Friend of the Network podcast. You should really go listen to like all the episodes. One of their most recent ones is an interview that they... What's that?
Matt's here.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hello?
What the fuck is up, gamers?
There he is.
So,
I have been
for the listeners at home, that is host of the show, Matt, in Sam's actual house.
Hey, gamers.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, gamers.
I was like, are
We're
we
just
going
wrapping
to
up here.
get this episode done without Matt showing up in my house? But no, we did not. Hello.
Hello.
Where was I? Yeah. Setting the Record Queer. It's a great podcast about queer people and the communities that they exist in and their pursuits. One of the most recent episodes was an interview between them and two women who are very experienced roller derby players. And it was a fucking banger of an episode. And I was on it. It was an absolute blast to be on. Go check that out. Patrick.
So as was just said, I'm Patrick. You can find me pretty much anywhere at PG1497, including apparently on some charger cables. That's a joke for people in the Discord. That's it. That's me. That's all I got.
I'm Sam. You can find me at twitter.com/positistress, positive-stress.tumblr.com. You can find my podcast about the secret life of the American teenager Jurgen It, which is also on noisespace.xyz. And you can also listen to my podcast that I'm on, Extra Credit at thefmin.us, where we talk about weird internet shit. And there's an episode that just went up that I was in, and there's another episode that just went up that I was in also.
I have been mainlining Jurgen for the last week or so because I ran out of my backlog a few days ahead of time before Giant Bomb started doing everything. And good podcast.
Thank you.
Did we say thanks to the taxpayers yet?
No, we didn't.
Thanks, taxpayers.
Thanks also to
Noisespace.xyz. Evil Men off the album Cold Hearted Town. Thank you.
Thanks also to the taxpayers, thanks also to Matt of the show for Noisespace.xyz, our lovely hosting platform.
Where you can find podcasts such as Jurgen It.
And Fear Baiting.
All right. This has been Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, Not a Threat.
Just a fact.
Memento
Pokemori.
Memento Pokemori. See you in 2019. Hi, Matt.
信じてるぜ
信じてるよ
オインゴボインゴブラザーズ俺はオインゴ変身できる身長体重においまでも思いのまんまさ誰にもバレない悟られない